Oh, and it's 7:30. But just a second. As always with the first comment. Norwood, thanks a lot. And you know what? That's right. We're doing that giveaway. Thanks to Norwood. I don't know how we'll do it, but as the show starts, we'll figure something out. Darks Excel, let's go. Yeah, I like that. Zeonic Shadow in the house. What's up, man? All right, well, there we go. Hey everyone, welcome to the Gundam Explained podcast. This is episode 34, and then I've kind of manually turned down a little just to make it sound cool. Well, yeah, the last video I didn't get any copyright strike for the music I'm using because it is from a video game, and it's actually also like a copy of an artist, Kill Switch Engage, in a way, so I think that's why they're not even bothering with that, but it's cool music to use, I think. Yeah, let's see. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Oh, Karina has just joined. Well, that's awesome. Hello, just coming into show some support. Yeah, thanks. One of the original winners when I was first doing the giveaway. So that is very cool. Yeah, and we're almost at 1,000, so some more giveaways will be coming soon. All right, let me just hit pause on that thing. All right, so yeah, thanks for joining Gundam Explained podcast. Like I said, video version, audio version on all podcast platforms. Be sure to subscribe wherever. If there's a place you need it to be, just let me know and I'll throw it on there. Yeah, and then the other giveaway will probably be soon. I'm about to hit 1,000. That's when I'll do the giveaway, and then I have a whole bunch of new other cool stuff that I'm going to announce that's going to go on. Maybe I'll do a little sneak peek because I'm excited about it, but there's going to be, monthly watch-alongs where we'll just jump in Discord. I'll share my screen. We'll have our webcams on, watch a Gundam, talk about it. And then I'm going to have research streams. So this is when I'm doing research on a video. I'm going to go in, share my screen, and then certain members can then join in, and we can just chat as I'm doing research, maybe contribute if you want. And then there'll be totally a lot of options for those of you that want to get shout outs on the videos. So for those that are contributors, supporters, for whatever reason, you'll be on, the videos in whatever form I do that in. But, speaking of giveaways, on today's show, there's actually going to be a few giveaways. We've got this Gundam Breaker 3 on PS4. We've got Gundam Breaker 3 on Vita. And if you're like me, even if you don't have a Vita, it is cool just to have sometimes some gaming memorabilia, especially if it's something you like Gundam. I have a bunch of Gundam games on consoles that I don't even have anymore or can't even play because they're imports. Like I have a really cool one on 360 called Operation Troy. I'll probably never be able to play that, but I have it. And then these two Gashapons here, which will be bundled as one. So yeah, there's going to be 3 winners today. And as we go in the stream, I haven't even really thought about it. Maybe it will be some sort of, yeah, as we go. We'll see how the chat comments are. And I'll be like, you know what? You're going to win this. We'll see. But anyway, a lot to talk about today, actually, because we've got some interesting news. So Zaku Day was on the 9th, right? And I guess that has to do with the 3 and the 9 and Zaku in Japanese. That's new to me because I'm relatively new to Gundam or being obsessed with it in this form. But there's a bunch of announcements. So we got some new Cucuruz Doan's Island, which, again, that's a hard title to just roll off the tongue. I call it the origin movie. That's how I kind of see it. We've got some news on that we're going to talk about. We've got Gundam Evolution, the new game, news about that. And there's always, Gundam Battle Operation 2 news going on. And then a few other little things that I found I thought we would talk about. And Also, like always, there's that call-in waiting room on the Discord, so feel free to jump on in. And depending on the time frame, I could pull you in so we can talk about whatever's going on. Usually we keep it a little quick. We see how the discussion is going, and we'll move on. But I always thought that was fun to do. So yeah, so let's see. Robert is saying, oh, by the way, don't forget to tell him about your Facebook. Well, yeah, I have a Facebook. I just don't normally promote it because I'm not really on Facebook. I mean, I am, but I don't use it. But if I start seeing some traction there, maybe, there's a member here of Gundam Explain the community that told me about a Robot Spirits group on Facebook. It's pretty awesome, and I've been on that, and it's actually really cool. So yeah, I don't know, I might be on there a little more. And Will's in the house. Hey, Will, good to see you there. Iria, any plans on doing reactions to series you haven't seen yet, like Afterward Gundam X? Yes, and I cannot wait to start doing those a little more. I think I want to do them sooner than later, but I don't want to. There's so much to cover, right? So like I'll pick a series and I'll cover that. How many ever episodes it is how many weeks. Like, oh wait, MS Team, I forget, it's like 8 or 12 episodes. I think more like 12. So it's gonna take me 12 weeks, right? Well, what I'll probably do is, what I've been doing lately is normally I'd have a Robot Spirits review on a Monday or a Gunpla. I've been doing it now with these side story reviews. I think I'm going to use Monday as kind of a wild card. And I kind of get the reaction from everyone else, what you guys kind of want to see, because there's so much I want to do, but so little time. So I think it's often that I hear about After War Gundam X. And I even watched the intro and I thought it was really cool. So I do think it's worth, even if I'm not doing a deep dive into the series, maybe at least do a reaction for someone that's really deep into UC lore and how much I like the storytelling and a lot of aspects of it. I think, yeah, it'd be cool to do a reaction to these other series. J King 347 Gundam Evolution is looking pretty cool. It is, and we'll talk about that here in a second, for sure. Is Titan in? I don't know what that is, Robert. We have enough Gundam to go around. I know, there's so much, right? There's just so much. Like, even with the games, like, I feel like, am I going to be able to play all the games all the time? Because we got a few coming out this year. I mean, still Gundam Battle Operation 2 is fun to play, right? But then we've got Gundam Breaker, and then we've got that SD battle. I forget what it's called. So yeah, let me guys know what you think, though, about streaming Gundam games, because there's a lot of times I play and I just don't stream. But it's like, why not? If I'm sitting around playing, I just stream it, I guess. I'm getting better at the whole talking, streaming at the same time. Before that was very difficult. I have some old videos out there of me streaming and I just don't talk because it's hard. Like, I can't imagine streaming Elden Ring and, streaming Elden Ring and talking at the same time. Let me tell you, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I think I'm at 60 hours. My character's like level 102. Yeah, that game is like a third job. If I don't consider my primary job, Gundam Explain, and then playing Elden Ring. I feel sorry for my family. No, I'm joking. Well, cool. Yeah, let's move on here. I usually like to start with video game news, and yeah, by the way, down for another stream on the weekend. Yeah, that's my thing. Video games, usually on Saturdays. For anyone can join, they can. Zionic Shadow has been an awesome co-op partner. He knows Gundam lore really well, and he knows the tactics to use in Gundam Battle Operation. If you check out the last Saturday's stream, he was on, and you can hear he definitely knows his stuff. So yeah, we'll probably do that again this Saturday. Area, follow up to that other comment. Awesome, would love to see it, and you should look into doing full reaction vids, somewhat like how Tebow does with linking in the description. Okay, I don't know what Tebow is, but I am gonna make it a point to figure out what you're talking about, because any suggestions I'm down for. Hey, Ian, good to see you. All right, so Gundam Battle Operation 2, we've got a Pale Rider D2. So I haven't really had time to look into this. I don't know if maybe Zionic or someone else in the chat has an understanding of the D2 part of the Pale Rider. It looks like it may be slightly more armored. I think I heard Zionic was saying in the Discord that it was a support unit, so that could lend to that. Yeah, really curious. Cost of 450. That's interesting. I mean, it is technically earlier in the 1 year war, so that may be why it is a 450. Oh, and they have those other riders. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, speaking of riders, I'm at that part in Dimensions. Is it Missing Link? Or the story after where it deals with the Pale Rider is really cool. So, area for his Zeta reactions. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know Tebow or about the Zeta reactions, but I'll have to check that out. I could probably use that more content of other YouTubers. Switching headset. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, Mesquini K Johnson. Wow, I butchered that. Wow, that's just like a name from Gundam. Anyway, Gundam X is a nice, slow burn of a series and is a good counterpoint to UC Gundam. Wow, that is awesome to hear. It creeps in every once in a while. I've never heard anyone say it's bad. But I've always heard, like, when it's brought up, it's in a good way, and I like the intro, so, yeah. Yeah, anyway, that's it for that for GBO2. So again, I'll be on this weekend. Zionic will also, so we'll be doing that. So here's that Gundam Evolution trailer. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. You know what I just realized? That whole time, I wasn't even sharing the screen. So that's the Pale Rider D2. Yeah. Okay, so looking at this real quick. Again, this was on the Sony State of Play yesterday, and I think it's pretty cool that they're showcasing a Gundam game. Only because, again, I think Gundam's not as big as it could be in terms of things being pointed out, I guess, for gaming events. But I mean, this looks cool. Wait, Forspoken's latest trailer shows off new gameplay. Huh, they put that at the bottom in the description here. Anyway, like I've said before, you know, this it's not like I'm playing a Gundam game. Like, it doesn't look like it feels like you're in giant robots. And that's kind of what I want out of Gundam. But because we already have some of that, I don't mind a game that's kind of, you know, a different pace. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need that palate cleanser after playing a lot of GBO2 or like a strategy game. And if you can like jump into one of these fast-paced first-person shooters, I'm down. I mean, I played a lot of Overwatch back when it came out. And I'm down for a little bit of competitive. And you know what? There's a beta that's gonna be you can actually go on Steam. I think you can actually sign up to be in the beta, and I need to do that. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, I'm gonna want to check it out. I'm gonna stream this. You know, it looks like it's one of those games that are meant to be super competitive, so I don't see myself. It really depends. When Halo came out, I was really getting to that Halo Infinite, and I was like destroying, but there's a lack of content in Halo. Anyway, let's move on. Hold on. Well, you know what? I think I messed something up. Let me see something here. Yeah, give me 1 second. Have to do this and then this. Okay. Working out. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, so yeah, that's it with Gundam Evolution. Beta is coming soon. Yeah. All right, moving on. Okay, so Cucuruz Doan's Island. Again, I have trouble with that. It doesn't roll off the tongue. But boy, did that second trailer look awesome, and I had the reaction of that. In fact, I didn't even go over any of that, did I? I didn't even talk about my videos. Yeah, so there's this reaction trailer reaction video I did. Um, Check it out if you want to kind of see the trailer and get my thoughts on it. But I mean, it looks awesome. Like, it's like there's nothing I can say really to be like, what's this going to be like? I mean, it's the fact that we're getting more UC and it's in the origin style that we've seen from the manga, or we're seeing like in the animation that's in that UC Engage game, mobile game in Japan. We're seeing the cast of characters, and we're seeing, yeah, RX-78 2 and a Zaku 2. And very interesting Zaku 2 also. I think was it Twitter? Yeah, I'm going to get to this in a second anyway. So this, because I thought it was funny looking, and I didn't know if that had to do with the original design maybe, and either there originally was a story reason for it to look this way, or they developed a story reason for it to look the way it does based on older artwork that they're repurposing or reusing, because it is a kind of a different, goofier looking Zaku helmet. So if it's about it being damaged, yeah, it broke apart right there. That's actually pretty cool. Oh yeah, there's a lot more stuff in the chat here. Let's see. From Iria, pretty much he just has a timer on screen for the YouTube reaction, but he has an uncut reaction with the footage you can watch by clicking. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you for showing that here. Hope Evolution ends up being good. Yeah, me too. Ooh, could just be me, but the stream is buffering a tad. I mean, it could. Hey, it could be me. I'm. Oh, I saw that. That was funny. Just Jedi, a goofier design. Yeah, I see what you did there. I call dibs on using Pale Rider once Evolution is out. That's funny. Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, that just reminded me of all of us kind of getting together to do like Evolution nights or whatever. Yeah, if you guys are seeing any other like issues with the stream or whatever, just let me know, because I'm constantly tweaking things. It's Gundam Overwatch. Yep, reminds me of COD. Yeah, just faster pace FPS. It does lack a sense of scale. Exactly. Yep. I asked before another stream, who would be up for an RTS game, Gundam game for PC? Oh yeah, me exactly. In fact, the last podcast near the end, I think it was near the end or at some point, the back half, I kind of went into a deep dive of what I think it would be like Tiberian Sun based, because Tiberian Sun, I think, had a really good foundation in generals for that. Just Jedi, let's see. Okay, Doan no Shima, as they say in Japanese. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. Considering that it's in the origin timeline, I wouldn't be surprised if there will be a ton of changes from the original 79 anime. So, that's interesting. Like, I get that there's going to be changes, and I was, I'm a canon guy, even though, again, I don't go crazy negative about it. I think that little changes can be made as long as it doesn't change the end result. I've always thought that that's okay. There can be interpretations that don't necessarily then, like, oh, was someone at the battle of this, or was it later? I don't know. There's some stories of them being there, but there's some, you know what I'm talking about. And I think, and that I'm cool with. Like, like Thunderbolt, the anime being canon versus the manga. It's cool. Young Shadow, info about the D2 is on Gundam Wiki. Oh, let me look that up. Gundam Wiki Pale Rider D2. I'm okay. We're gonna look at this in a second. Let me just keep this up here because I didn't even know about this. 84. Okay, yeah. I don't want to jump too much into it yet, but we'll come back to that. But anyway, let's see. Just Jedi, I would love an RTS Gundam game. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done it yet. Like, if we look at, I mean, I would say though, if you think about what are some big RTS games nowadays, and there's not many. Like, StarCraft was big, and then I think it kind of dropped off. I love RTS games, so I've been playing a lot that have been coming out on PC lately, and I even forget the names of them because, as awesome as they are, they're kind of forgettable. There's They Are Billions. There's a Conan one, which they started making RTSs more survival based, and I guess it depends on your flavor of RTS. I'm more of a Command and Conquer StarCraft guy. I like building bases, mining resources, microing that while microing, putting my units out there. Like Dawn of War was a good one, and so there's RTSs that are like grand scale or stuff like Civilization, which they're not real time. I guess it's more strategy. And then there was that newer Warhammer that came out, and I tried it, and it's not my thing. And I just don't think the type that I like is super popular, and I don't know if it's the same for everyone else. So this Company of Heroes 3 coming out, which Company of Heroes 1 I loved. 2 I couldn't. I don't know why I didn't really get into it, but I'm willing to try 3 out. Yeah, and there's a couple new ones. I think one's called Alien Marauder, and the other one, what is it called? It's a medieval fantasy one, but they're like survival based. So you do base building, but then waves come at you. And I don't want that. I'd want where you build your units, you send them out, you micro, all that. Yeah, Age of Mythology and Age of Empires, those are good examples too. The thing I liked about Age of Empires, how there was a bigger focus on the resource. Actually, the new Age of Empires 4, right? That was pretty good. But it was too much of the same, Like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, Galactic Battlegrounds, that was a good one because that was like where it kind of took more of the Age of Empires element and expanded on that and made it Star Wars. And still, I think that's what makes things fun. Ditto on the RTS Gundam game type. Yeah. Yeah, it just needs. That's cool that you guys, I agree with that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. I think those RTSs are kind of. Let's see what's next. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, I wanted to bring this up. Beck Monroe. This bring back memories where in 90s 2000 was like an Age of RTS game. Yeah, I loved it. I remember I was still living at home, and I remember when Tiberian Sun. Like, yeah, there's so many memories. It had to do with my dad of like, because he had the PC, and so when I wanted to play a game or whatever, he liked the RTS stuff. So I remember, yeah, it was my older half brother brought over when he was visiting over the summer, brought Command and Conquer. That's when I first tried it, loved it. Then got Red Alert. Then my dad got StarCraft. My dad and I like split StarCraft with our allowance. And then when what was that? StarCraft Brood War, that one I played all the time. That was probably one of the first games that I played online like all the time. Yeah, and then the Command and Conquer games just kept going. Yeah, Tiberian Sun, Red Alert. My dad played those back in the day. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, those games are still really good. The Command and Conquer remaster came out. I played a whole bunch of that. But that's the thing, like they really need to add more intricate. There's a lot of interesting things they need to do with RTSs nowadays, I think, to make them more mainstream. So, and sometimes I don't agree with that. This reminds me of racing, right? Gran Turismo 7 just came out, and people are kind of okay on it. Now, car enthusiasts love it, but that's a specific niche group. It seems that a lot of people like in racing games that there's a rewind button, and I don't care for it. But it seems to be more generally accepted. And so that is, Forza did great. So it made me think like in RTS, what if we just add a pause button? Because they have it in the survival games. And that makes sense when it's the RTS, like wave-based survival, you pause. But for an RTS where you have units moving out and like pause it so you can like for a second maybe figure it out, assuming it's, single player. But I really think there has to be some sort of gameplay mechanic that is changed to kind of, I don't know, make it not easier for the mainstream, but add more options. Reminds me of Elden Ring. How Elden Ring is adding more options just to make the game a little more accessible, but it still has that challenge. Yeah, good talk. I could talk about RTSs all day. Rise of Nations. I didn't play Rise of Legends, but I did play Rise of Nations. And then as we're chatting about that, this came up. I'm gonna read this. I thought this was funny. This is on the Gundam forums. This was posted back in May 2013. This is from Polaris Gundam. Okay, this is something that bugs me. My favorite Federation grunt workhorse suit, the GM. But I had a discussion with one of my Gundam buddies. He was admiring my Gundam collection and say my GM sniper and said, wow, hands down, Jim Sniper 2 is the coolest. I shuddered a little and corrected him and said, yes, GM Sniper 2 is pretty awesome. Anyway, we started talking and debated if it was pronounced GM or Jim. I went to my trusted Gundam collection and showed that in the English track of 0080, 0083, and 08 MS Team, they call it the GM, just like the letters. But my plan backfired when he suggested I switch to the Japanese audio. Boy, did I feel silly. In Japanese, they call them Jims, or rather, Jim. Oh, I guess he's just spelling it differently. But I guess, and when they brought it over to the States, they decided to call them GMs, at least in certain series and video games. Except in the translation of Blue Destiny, or maybe it was Lost War Chronicles, they flat out called the Jims. Okay, a little bit of grammar there. Now I'd like to keep an open mind. Jim could be a nickname given to the mobile suits as a slang like bird or angel for a plain. Military folks do it all the time, giving nicknames to friendly and enemy weapons. B-52 is a buff, big, ugly, fat fellow. MP-44 was the burp gun, and so on. But as an official designation, it's a Jim. Of course, it's spelled GM, but pronounced it as it goes against everything I learned in kindergarten. But counterpoint, the name is in the title, RGM79. That in all audio tracks is spelling each word out. It's not the RGM-79. Good point. No, it's RGM. I don't know. I don't know. It's not important, but a pet peeve of mine, and this forum could use some good discussion. I prefer GM. So I prefer GM, but I also think it's interesting that in the Japanese they say Jim, but I think that has to do with a lot of them just saying the English word and having to, it's a word that is English, or letters put together, the designation that is English, but pronounced with Japanese characters. So like Titans, I learned, is how you say Titans in Japanese, but that just had to do with the pronunciation. So when it's translated to English, it also has to translate how it would be pronounced. So I think if you can do whatever you want. But I guess I'm just saying, like, it seems like the proper way is really just to go with the English if you're speaking English. I guess if you really want to make sure everyone understands what we're talking about. But the other idea here is Jim as kind of slang. I like that. I really do like that. I like that idea as in English, even if GM is correct, Jim is just a cool slang. Because it really does make sense with the RGM. Actually, I'd like to hear what it sounds like in Japanese when they're saying RGM. Yeah, would they even really say R? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Chiss Jedi, Jim versus Jim, it's the Gundam equivalent of the GIF or GIF. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's pretty funny. Are you really? Yeah, I don't know what that. Robert has his own stories going on. I always said Jims. I hardly say GM. Oh, okay. Well, Xeonic Chad is like the resident Gundam expert. So if he's saying Jim, then yeah, that is perfectly fine. Okay, so GM stands for Gundam Mass Production. So ironically, despite how people want to strictly classify Gundams, those things are technically a type of Gundam. Is that true? I thought it was general, or as in a general mass production unit, not like a general designation. Is that true? So you know what? You know what we do when we want to figure something out? We come here, which this is always helpful. I was hoping I would see developed from, and then it would say it. But here, I'll just do Gundam, or GM 79, right? That's the... what? I guess that's a Resident Evil thing. Is that a Resident Evil thing? It's a grenade. Huh. Okay, but it is RGM. AKA GM, pronounced Jim. But I want to see... Wait. Where it says... what it stands for. Does anyone happen to know? Oh, there we go. Chiss Jedi has a Haro icon. That's pretty cool. Always said Jim as well. Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, someone that was a newer Gundam fan, GM, uh, seemed more logical. But I do hear GM. But actually, I was looking for if someone actually said, "Ooh, that looks sick." I was looking for if someone had, or they. What does GM stand for? Is it really Gundam Mass Production? I'm not even seeing it in here. So I always, for some reason, thought it was General Mobile Suit, General Mass Production. Ask Adam if Aro has the thickest plot armor ever. Well, I mean, other than Bright, he's appeared what in most UC for the longest time. I mean, he's in Victory. All right, so that's that. The discussion of the GM. Okay, so here's something interesting. Bandai Namco to spend 130 million creating Gundam Metaverse. But reading it, it seemed was it this one that it seemed like it was more of just a metaverse in general, but Gundam would be a part of it. But again, this whole metaverse thing, whatever. My thoughts with the metaverse have to do with like, it would work if, for instance, the thing is they have to incorporate this better. Someone made an interesting comment about Horizon Zero Dawn. So I couldn't really get into Horizon Zero Dawn. I had just gotten off of Breath of the Wild. I've been a Souls player, so Horizon was just kind of a linear, handholdy, narrative-driven experience that wasn't gamey enough for me. So Forbidden West comes out, and people that were able to go through the first for Forbidden West are kind of like, yeah, it's okay. But what they brought up was what would have been a stronger point for the game is to carry your save over from the original one into Forbidden West and that affect your character. Now, I think that's the basis of this metaverse if they're going to do that. It's crossing over game content. One thing that works with Gundam is the plastic model aspect, having multiple pieces of Gunpla, for instance, a mobile suit. What if there's multiple Gundam games that you can carry, like an RX-78-2 with a gun cannon that you can carry throughout different games? Like we have that SD battle game coming out. I keep forgetting the name of it. And then we have Evolution. What if there are some certain aspects that you can carry over? Now, a part of the metaverse too, and we can see with these characters here, are the avatars. And if we look at Gundam Battle Operation 2, that sort of has an early type aspect of the metaverse because you log into this lobby where you're walking around as a private military union, right? And you can dress yourself up however you want. They would just need to expand on the community, the user communication, and the games you're playing. It would be like you would launch into this lobby, and then you're like, hey guys, let's go play Battle Operation 2. And you can unlock stuff in Battle Operation 2 that, for your character. So then you can log off that in this metaverse and then go play another Gundam game or go watch a Gundam movie together. That's kind of how I see it going, I think, if it's going to be successful, because all these companies that are talking about metaverse are also talking about NFTs. A lot of it right now are just buzzwords that don't really mean anything because we haven't had really a good example of any of it. I mean, even when it comes to the metaverse or meta with Facebook, the Quest, I have a Quest. There's actually two in this house. That's crazy. And it's just okay. I actually think the PSVR is better, not technically speaking, but because one, it's plugged in, so it's constantly being powered, but two, there's a lot of games. Like there's so many games that I can use with it. But a PC VR would be even better, but the barrier to entry, that's so much. So there's still there's still too many barriers on all ends to like make it a cohesive experience. And so if the metaverse was going to take off, it probably won't rely on VR, even though metaverse and meta, it's almost trying to be the same thing. It's going to have to be probably mobile-based, computer-based, very easy for people to jump into a universe together. So curious what you guys think about that. Let's see. Miss Scooney K. Johnson. Again, you can correct me. But so Bandai wants to make GBN real. Yeah, and I guess Santo Bell from our post, the Discord, he posted something recently about it being in a couple days that it's going to launch. So that could be part of it too. I would think so. And they made, Bandai made an announcement of that before, saying how there's this big push with Gundam worldwide. They're making their games multi-platform anyway, which is awesome. All these video games they've been announcing are multi-platform. So kind of like that Breaker mobile game. Yeah, and I would think that would be another good one. So we got the Breaker mobile, we got UC Engage, and what if you could take elements from that to share it across? So it's like it can get people to want to play multiple games within a certain series. So pretty much like you could become a strictly Gundam gamer if gaming is your thing. Talking about Gundam build in real life? Yeah. Which apparently is happening. Again, that's like in a couple days in Japan, they're going to have the first Gundam Breaker battle or something. Okay, Zionic Shadow. GM equals Gundam mass production type. You were right. Awesome. Thank you, Zionic Shadow. But yeah, so it's interesting that it's a Gundam mass production type. Does that mean a GM is a Gundam? Is a Gundam. Haro is practically immortal. Yeah, he seems to be, although there are some, I forget which one it is, where they talked about they started mass producing Haros to be based off the software of the one Amuro had. Because remember, Amuro was tinkering with Haro, was he? In the original, and then I think Bright made a comment, I think it was in Zeta, or maybe Double Zeta, how now all Haros were sold commercially with Amuro's software. So, could be that they're all different. I can't find an official statement discussing what GM stands for. Yeah, when I can't find anything official, I go by Zionic Shadow. I think if I remember correctly, it's a quote from the Gundam. Someone in that episode said it stands for. Oh, well, there you go. I'm gonna have to. There's so many times like, oh, I'm gonna have to rewatch this and look out for certain things. It's like I've watched Blade, that movie Blade from 1999. I've watched that so many times. I know everything about it. You can ask me any question. Army of Darkness, 1993. I've watched that movie so many times. I know everything about it. And I'm not there yet with the original Mobile Suit Gundam. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, it's the metaverse thing. Okay, so now this is cool because one, this BJ dude, Zionic Scans, he translates stuff all the time for the community, which is pretty awesome. And his Twitter is just full of gems. And he is a Canon pro. I don't know what word I'm looking for. He knows Canon well. But so remember that Rust Horizon? Well, these are the first sketches that have been released for Rust Horizon. So we're seeing like this possible desert landscape. We're seeing like, I don't know, something crashed there maybe. And we're seeing these Zakus, perhaps. Yeah, look at that. Look at how sick these look. The drawing, the drawing on here is great. The art looks really good. Look at that. I guess this is the guy, he was sketching it out in there. Look at that. Love that look. Little forearm missile launcher thingy. And then some Federation suits. So really cool. We see the decal on these gyms. And they're like the ground type. It looks like they're a ground type, but it does say EFSF. So that is pretty interesting. Earth Federation, maybe Special Forces, not Space Force. That'd be cool. Earth Federation Special Forces. Even though they did have Special Forces teams and they just didn't call them that. They just had a designation like White Dingo, was a Special Forces team. Yeah, Hail to the King, baby. That's right. Army of Darkness. And speaking of video games, that Evil Dead video game's coming out in May. Beck Monroe, damn, look at the details. Yeah, it looks great. And, I haven't really gotten to reading manga, and I have the origin behind me, and I need to do that. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Mess Kinnique Johnson. I think I've said it differently every time. And Zeta Bright mentioned they made mass-produced Haros program to recognize the white base crew. Very cool. Okay. I knew there was something like that. That's very cool. Alrighty. Let's move on. What else do I have? We already showed that. Okay, there's something else I wanted to show here. Show up, show. Where was it? Yeah, our Discord is awesome, by the way. Oh, Saint Kingdom shared some stuff. This stuff is really cool. Where was that? Give me a second. Okay, Santo Bell. So, what's cool about this is that video I just did. Oh my god, what is it called? Was it, yeah, History of Rise from the Ashes, which is really cool. Check that out. I mean, that's that Dreamcast game. Dreamcast, one of the greatest systems of all time. And it has that White Dingo team. So he was actually showing me with this map where the Earth Federation bases were. And he says this map is not completely accurate in terms of exactly where these cities are, I guess, in Australia. But you can kind of get an idea of the different bases of operations in Australia and north of that, of some, I think, that were featured even in Hathaway. So that's actually in the Discord if you want to check that out for reference. Very cool that that was made, actually. Yeah, I always want to thank the people for posting in there. Yeah, and while we're here, some other stuff. Really cool full armor type. Yeah, there's a robot spirits of that I really want to get. Yeah, look at that. That looks sick. Oh yeah, that's right. Because yeah, Psychotics was sharing this. You can get the Gundam Artifact complete set on Amazon, 35. You can pre-order. They look good. I've seen people paint these and they look amazing, and they're not big either. What were some other stuff in? Oh yeah, for Zaku Day. Oh, Uncle Tom posted this thing about the Gundam figures live. 17th, huh? Keep that in mind. And then some cool Zaku shots. Very cool. Waiting in call-in since Metaverse. Oh, are you in, Robert? Oh, you sure are. Sorry about that. Yeah, let me pull you in. Yeah, guys, if you want to call in, feel free to do and let me know in the chat. Robert, what's up, man?
I'm doing all right.
Nice. So what's going on? What are your thoughts? Anything on Metaverse?
Oh
Go
yeah.
that.
So with metaverse, I think
Or
it's a
anything else?
great idea.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True. By the way, when I finally got answered, you were at the point of being in Discord. Um, in general, the general channel,
Yeah.
someone posted a tabletop RPG game for Gundam.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that, but I didn't look much into that. But I sometimes see pictures on Twitter about that where people will show like what they've created and they use their Gunpla.
Farther up.
Oh, it's further up on here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, another post by Psychotics. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
that's
right there.
yeah, pretty cool. With just with all the video games I play, I don't think I can throw in tabletop gaming.
Well, if anyone wants to, I'd be willing to next week.
Well, is it something you do over stream?
Well, you could through
Ah,
Discord.
yeah, that's right. I see that a
I mean,
lot with, yeah, Dungeons and
I know
Dragons and
with,
stuff.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Johnny Shadow
So,
posted this. Me listening to my Gundam playlist. Yep.
uh,
So what's up, Robert?
well, um, I'm going to be, um, I'm going to be having some activities come up after this, like later this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing some Switch bowling with my friend Michael finally.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Which
and I
ball?
don't know if Gundam has a Switch game yet.
Yeah, they do have
Nintendo
the.
Switch.
I think they do have cross
Ooh.
dimensions, and there might be something else. And then they're getting the new ones that are coming out, or a couple of them. I don't know
Okay.
about Evolution, but they are getting that SD battle game. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll sign off then.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, see you,
Anyone
man.
else? Bye.
Cool. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I'm glad he reminded me about going on Discord. I meant to show this last time. This is Will. He's a regular, and he's also kind of a Gundam expert. But yeah, look at this. That looks awesome. Like that's making me want to get a grid paper and then yeah have the different colors so I can kind of map out the depth as I'm. Yeah, that looks great. And let's see. And this is from his fan fiction, which again, Robert has some on here too. There's a lot, but it's the EZ8 HM Custom. High mobility, I'm assuming. And that is a great idea. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thinking of, speaking of fan fiction, I had this idea of like, I don't know. I still have to watch Turn A and Reconquista and G to understand the future of the Gundam universe. But here on real life Earth, there's been the potential that there have been like cataclysmic occurrences that kind of restarted civilization. Now we see in Gundam UC we'll have colonies drop, asteroids drop, but it doesn't really seem to cause long-term damage. Although even by victory, it almost seems like it. But what if it's like complete and utter a cataclysm occurs in future UC where humans are starting over with technology? The only thing that survives is the fact that there are people with new type abilities, but they don't call it that because they don't know what the name is for that. And then it's almost like Jedi, where there's some people that kind of band together and they're kind of protecting what it means to be a new type and use it for good. That means suppressing your emotions, not letting it get a hold of you, as we see with new types. And then through that, at some point, one of these new types tend to, living in the Stone Age or whatever. Maybe it's a little more post Stone Age, but they come across buried somewhere a Gundam. They're drawn to it because they're a new type, and the psychoframe technology is in there, and so they emerge with like this ancient Gundam. And what if it's only new types can operate Gundam? So you have the bad guy new type to find a Gundam, and so there's not a mass production of Gundams, but there's just like a couple that are piloted by these new types. Anyway, I think that's a pretty cool idea. I just haven't really jumped into it. But yeah, let's look at chat. Yeah, yesterday was Zaku Day. Yep. Yeah, I posted on the Twitter a bunch of Robot Spirit Zakus I have. In Char's counterattack, Amuro gave Hathaway a Haro Mark 6. Yep, that's cool. Yeah, so I guess who knows? It's not like the same Haro, I guess, the whole time potentially. In Benager, that's right. Let's see. Seems something more in person, but I am not familiar with D&D enough to know how to make it work over the internet. Yeah, the only way I happen to know is I've only played D&D once. Some friends played it, and I went to go try it. Wasn't too into it. But I got the general understanding when I watched live streams of people doing it. I was like, I see what's going on. But still, That's Beck Monroe. That's turn A, isn't it? Well, I'd like to find out if that really is turn A. I really want to watch it. I just haven't got to it yet. Hold on a second. Let's see. What's this other one? Poll for fan fictions. Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Oh, Gundam X was kind of apocalyptic restart last I remember. Okay, even more reason for me to jump into that. And characters like Armor and Char would have faded into myth-like demigods. Yeah, that would. Yeah. Brian Zenicelli. Man, did I say that right on the first try? What's up? Very cool. It is turn A. Well, we'll see, because I do notice in turn A there's like an army of a certain type of mobile suit, and they look too modern sometimes, like where they are located to be like a real post-apocalyptic scenario. So, yeah, I gotta watch turn A. And actually, I'm there now. I've finished everything, really. I'm just going back to really filling everything. Temples built to Shar. That's a scary thought. That's actually really cool. And it's like they could try to like summon his consciousness, because if new types are then part of, you know, the universe and they can communicate, what if he's like summoning Shar, but he's accidentally summoning Full Throttle, who has, I think, more, it seemed like he had more of the evil tendencies. I don't know. And they think it's Shar, but it's really Full Throttle. Or Zoltan from Narrative, that was a failed Shar clone. They're like summoning him, and he's telling him to do all this bad stuff, and you find out later he's not really Shar. That would be sick. Oh, you find out later it's not Shar, but Shar comes to save the day. He embodies a Hyakushiki that's found on the moon. I don't know. I'm just saying. Did I say Full Throttle, Full Frontal? Yeah, I meant Full Frontal. Yeah. Full Throttle. That's a game. That's a game, isn't it? Let's see. Moon People mobile suits. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah. Moon Gundam got a vibe of that, too. That's right. Yeah, because the people in the colony. Moon. Yeah, full frontal. Yeah. Which is a weird name anyway, Full Frontal. Yeah, that's... Shish Jedi. It would be like Shar equals Darth Revan from KOTOR. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Brian, RX-78 2. Oh, and you even did the 02, the proper designation of the origin, RX-7802. That is one of my favorite mobile suits in the Universal Century Timeline. Well, that's a good one. That totally is. If you haven't checked out the review I did of the Origin Gunpla, and I kind of tweaked it and all that. Let's see. We're getting kind of near the end. I'll still look at chat, but I'm going to bring up some comments from last time, or as much as I can, because there's a lot more now, and I don't think I have the time to really go through all of them anymore. I'm going to have a new system in place later for that. Okay. Here's something I posted for fun. Let's see. Which new Gundam movie are you more excited for? And so I put Cucuruz Doan's Island or Gundam live action from Legendary Pictures. I think the answer is obvious, but I just thought it was a neat thought experiment, because the Cucuruz Doan's Island is almost like we know what we're getting. So that it seems obvious. But could you still be excited for a live action Gundam? Because what if it's like done right? You know? But at the same time, it could be that you just prefer the animation anyway. I don't know. Full Frontal do kind of ring with his action, though. Yeah, it does. It's just Full Frontal. Like, for someone to have that as a name, it just seems so silly, but it works. It works. Oh, Robert says live action. I'm scared for the live action version. There is so much that can go wrong on the production side of things. You know, there is, but I keep going back to this whole thing with Legendary Pictures. Has a good track record, if you look. The director has a good track record. And Netflix, right before this, changed their output. They at first were like, throw money at everything, make as many things as possible. Now they're needing to scale back and be like, no, we need to make quality things. So I think there's a good mix there. And both. Yeah, why not both? That's a good one. Thanks, Brian. But yeah, back at the comments, let's see. How far back do I go here? Okay, so... All right, from the last podcast, from Rogue New Type, another great vid man. I've been working on some Gundam fanfiction myself. I too love getting deep into the lore of UC, especially One Year War, Advance Zeta, Zeta, and Double Zeta timelines. I'm not in Discord yet and would like to join up with your group. You should, if you haven't. I mean, obviously, I know your name. Just don't remember if you, and that's been 6 days. Yeah, if you haven't joined, but you might have. Also, the RX-79 BD1 Blue Destiny is technically a Gundam, just with custom GM or custom ground GM head. But now what we've learned is anything that's a GM is a Gundam, right? John Cannon, when I first watched this episode, it was incredible. I had no idea these machines existed in the war. Oh, the Zuda. They were incredible, but their Jupiter engine is unstable. Do you think the Shar Aznable want to try this machine to outmaneuver the Gundam and GMs? Yeah, interesting that he didn't, or maybe he knew and he just has more of that intuition with like, this wouldn't be a good idea. He likes to go fast, so he'd get himself in trouble. He probably knew that. Federation stole the Zaku F2, Xeon stole the GPO2. All about using weapons against each other. Yeah. True. Let's see. Hitachi Cordoba. I want for Xmas' HD remake of the Dreamcast Mobile Suit Gundam side story Rise from the Ashes. And so there apparently is the remake that's on PS3, but it's third person instead of first person. Oh yeah, talking about Legend of Galactic Heroes and Yamato 2199, or Battle, that has another name to it. Yeah, I've watched the new Thesis, if that's what it's supposed to be translated to, and I loved it. It's awesome. Can't wait for the third season, even though there's the original, the full one. And I tried was it Battle Cruiser or something like that? Something, I don't know. Star Blazers. And it was okay. Man, I feel bad. I want to read all these comments, but there's actually a lot. From Lucas Garrett, Yu Kojima is my favorite Universal Century pilot. Okay, so that was the pilot of the Blue Destiny, and he was part of the conflict at the end of Char's counterattack. Okay, Zionic Shadow, Master Pierce Rayer was born in the 50s and was drafted into the Earth Federation Army in his early 20s as 1 year war was beginning. He graduated in UC 0079 as a lieutenant junior grade and was later assigned to the White Dingo mobile suit team operating in Desolate, Australia as team leader. He was formed friendships with fellow teammate Leong Li Fai and Maximilian Berger and formed a fierce rivalry with Prince Alexander ace pilot Vish Donahue, and his name, Master P. Rayer, is a pun similar to Yu Kojima's name. This time, Master P. Rayer is a pun of master player intended for the player of the game. That's some good trivia there. Let's see. Oh, another thing about on the Dreamcast. Yeah, that Dreamcast was such a great time in gaming. Let's see. Oh yeah, someone was pointing out that the GM2 that I pointed out standing in the shallow part of the water is actually an Aqua GM in that Torrington base. WebFox 100, another Dreamcast. Some more Dreamcast love here. Yeah, that game on Dreamcast was awesome. Again, I wasn't into Gundam. I loved that game. Garrett Little, I was talking about most underrated game, and he was saying a game called Gundam Battle Universe. But I think that was on PSP, only in Japan. That has kind of a limited audience. Oh, Renovan. So Renovan, he has his own YouTube channel now. Did I? Yeah, he has his own YouTube channel now. I think. So he was the one that did that interview of me, but he's done it from a lot of other people, and he now has his own YouTube channel if you want to check it out. He just started, already has 28 subscribers. Yeah, you guys should check it out. He does some pretty cool stuff. He has some good questions from Gunpla builders. It's more focused around the Gunpla builders. A Space Battleship Yamato. Thank you. Let's see. What else is going on? Live action adaptations of anime are a risky gamble given how badly the Cowboy Bebop adaptation was received. Yeah. But the production company behind that was no Legendary Pictures. In fact, it was Netflix was just saying, like, here, make something. And you know what? I actually watched it, and I liked it, but I've never seen the Cowboy Bebop anime. It could be blasphemous. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there's some other good ones here. You know what, guys? I'm going to have a new process coming up soon to have comments that want to be read online just because there's so many. And sometimes I can't get to them all before the end. I just kind of wanted to. Oh wait, we were gonna do the giveaway. We're gonna do the giveaway right now. Okay, so here's what's going on, guys. We've got 3 things we're giving away. Gundam Breaker 3 at PS4, Gundam Breaker 3 on Vita, and then these 2 gashapons. So, yeah, I'm pulling everything out of my ass right now. So we're gonna come up with something. It's gonna be based on some comments. You know what? I gotta give it to Zeonic Shadow. This is not a it's not just because I've always been talking to him, but in every stream, no matter what, he contributes, and I appreciate it. So, Zeonic Shadow, I'm gonna get you the gashapons. That's for you. So we've got these the Gundam Breaker 3 on PS4, and then on Vita. Let's see. Buff Kitty wants to win one. Can I win one? Well, you know what? Buff Kitty doesn't count. He's my son. So yeah, he's laughing over in the corner. Okay, yeah, so I guess I want to be able to do something cool, like some man, was there another comment that came through that I thought was very well done? Or you know what? Hey, Chiss Jedi, I appreciated a lot of your contributions today. Gundam Breaker 3 is yours. For the ones that win, email me at gundamexplain@gmail.com and give me your address. Okay, so for this last one, this is going to be Gundam Breaker 3 on Vita. Hey, the cat is meowing. You can come up here. So post in the chat a interesting and cool mobile suit that is kind of like not that well known, and I want to go by that. And see who has the most interesting one. Hey, Gump Lagoon has shown up. What's up, man? Good to see you. And then while that's happening, here's Kat. She's always like, I have this arm here. You can't really see it, but she like will just sit on the arm rest all the time, and then she'll sometimes swat at my face if she wants attention. And now, yeah, she's on here. She's nibbling at my hand because she wants me to pet her. So. But yeah, I don't know if there was a delay, but if anyone's got some interesting mobile suit that is underrated or underappreciated, I can pick from that. And I guess, while that's going, I can look at more of these comments. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a good one. There's the 08th MS Team War for 2 review. So I talked about the noses, right? And I did this whole thing. Man, the cat wants me to pet her. She's just like swatting at my hand. Like right now, you can kind of see her whiskers. Okay. I did. Now I would change this up. I would move his cheek in a bit. I think the reason that the cheek stick out was for the nose to stick out just a bit. But I kind of redid his nose, and it's a little small. But I mean, I even think that's a little better than what they have. It's that had to do with the whole nose thing. Oh, Gundam fan, love vids, man. That's always nice and appreciated. Well, you know what, guys? This is pretty simple. I'm gonna go with Ian. Strike Nor. It's pretty cool. Even though it's not UC, but it's like something I need to get into. So hey, this is yours, man. If you wanna go ahead and shoot me an email with your address, I can get that over to you. And I want to keep doing these. Really, it was, again, G Norwood, from the community. He he sent this over and he's like, hey man, just give it out. I think there's other people out there that would love this stuff because he's just had it sitting around, and I think that's really nice of him. He actually included the Genesis, yeah, right, is it Genesis? SD Genesis on Vita, but I wanted to keep that. I like that a lot. But anyway, yeah, guys, I think that's it. A lot to talk about here. It's been an hour. I'm a little tired. The cat is being annoying, and yeah, that was it. Thanks for sticking around for this episode. There'll be another one. Please join the Discord if you haven't, and yeah, we'll talk again soon. Well, this is nice, Adam. I've watched every single one of your kids. They are just too good. I hope you mean vids, because that is pretty scary. So with that,